Sonia.
Yes.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey.
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 Man, let me tell you. Are people ready?
I don't think so.
They're not ready.
me, I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
Me personally, I'm not ready.
Why aren't you ready?
Because hey. So last year,
tell
there
us.
was a comedian. This comedian was pushing a very nice agenda.
Yes.
Aki, the best, an agenda that warms my heart.
That narrative
Aki,
tulikuwa nayo
imagine.
ndani.
So me, I'm like, wow, people with the same mindset.
Yes.
Finally, people
Someone
are seeing the
that
vision.
gets it.
They get it. Sasa
Yeah.
mi nikaona great minds should come together. So I'm like, let me look for Omondi.
Yes.
Hi, Omondi, please. Hi, Omondi, please. Hey, kupata huyu mtu.
Yeah.
Unapigia manager, unaambiwa tutakupigia. Unapigia manager, unaambiwa tutakupigia. So unasema, Aki, and it's such a good initiative.
It really, really is.
But patience pays.
Yeah.
Imagine nilikuwa nime give up.
He's in the building.
Mimi nilikuwa nime give up.
Na nilikushow, I will try my level best to get him.
Unajua ukiona DM imeandikwa Sonia Pinto lazima unafungua.
Bro. That's it.
Hiyo DM unafungua.
Actually, that's
You're
it.
going about it the wrong way.
That's all we needed. It was Sonia Pinto we needed to get this.
Instant.
Now with us is one of the top, I would say, African comedians in the building.
Yeah.
Papa Mwenye himself. I'd like to say, I saw you were like Mr. Hustler himself.
Yes,
eh?
yes.
CEO himself.
Yes.
Eric Omondi
Yes.
is finally here at Radio 254.
254.
Huh? How are you doing?
I'm so happy.
Yeah?
It's been a while since I was in an interview, radio interview. It's been almost 2 years, yeah?
Why?
Because they don't play Kenyan music.
Really?
And I've had a fight with them. And it's out there. I've been to a few, but not for interviews, just for other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you told me that you guys play Kenyan music,
Yes.
and when I saw the name 254, and that's what I've been fighting for,
Yes.
and that's the agenda.
Yes.
I was like, this is it. I have to come for this one. And that's also, okay, I'm on some tight program, but I have to make time.
Yeah.
So tukaongea tukasema ama tufanye Thursday, ama Tuesday,
Ama-
ama 7 a.m.
We're looking for a time.
Yes.
Where can we?
Yeah, but I had to come either way. Yes.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you guys for playing Kenyan.
Yeah,
pushing
all
Kenyan.
exclusively
Yes.
Kenyan music. And you know, we're an online radio station.
Yes, I know.
So we are literally, like, a lot of people are tuned in right now from all
Nice.
over the world, you know.
Nice.
And what we want to do is just put KE out there to the world.
That's it.
And having you here, we would also like to get to know you.
Yes.
You know, Eric himself.
Yes.
Unajua, like, we see you on socials, we see you like online, and I don't know, like, just having you here is like, I'm even nervous, bro.
No, it's an honor.
I'm eating up my words.
an
But man, it's honestly amazing just to have you here.
Thank you guys for having me.
So Eric, we've grown up seeing you on television, seeing you. We first saw you on Churchill Show.
Churchill Live.
Churchill Live.
Then you guys were all in lower primary school.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
by the
Me, my
way.
auntie was even your professor. She taught you at Daystar. So it was really exciting for us to see you. We grew up with you.
Okay.
Seeing you and seeing what you've been doing.
Yes.
And then you've transitioned and done so many different things.
Yes.
You are one guy who makes skits that get people talking.
Yes.
And you know, in your job, you need to get people
Need to
talking.
start conversations.
Whether it's good or bad,
Yes.
we need to have conversations
Yes.
and talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would want to know, as Eric right now, how would you define yourself? Because are you still comedian? Are you the president? Are you an activist?
Are you a hustler?
Who is Eric?
Who is?
I like that, but I would define myself as an entertainer. A comedian I'm a comedian. I used to be a comedian. I'm still a comedian, but currently I'm an entertainer. Yes, that's the best way I would define Eric Omondi.
Okay.
The brand. 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was strictly a comedian. Now I transitioned. I metamorphosized. Yeah, you know, you have to keep reinventing and rebranding for various reasons, to be relevant, to stay fresh. You can't keep the same. If you don't grow, you die.
Yeah.
And so I keep changing. Some people would call me an activist. Currently, I'm not an activist.
Because that's what, when you read, you'll be like, oh, they'll say you're an activist. Some people are saying he's an entertainer. Some are saying, so that's why I was asking, what are you? Yeah, cloud chaser,
Cloud chaser, hustler.
Yes. But there's also somewhere where you say you're Eric Otieno, and then there's Eric Omondi. Please. Who is who and why the two?
Sometimes people get offended. People get so emotional and reactional, and I laugh. And I keep telling them there are two people here. There's Eric Otieno is the person, and Eric Omondi is the character or the brand. So those are totally two different people. So Eric Omondi works for Eric Otieno. Yeah?
Yes.
For Eric Otieno to eat, Eric Omondi has to dress up and go to work. Yeah, you're getting.
Hapo kwa kudress up. What you wanna?
Don't want the dress.
When do mess up my dress? Because a lot of people come at you for wearing female clothing, and I feel as though as a man, if you're comfortable in your own skin and in your own sexuality, it doesn't matter what you wear. But you get the most flack because why are they so? Why does it hurt them? Uma kwa nini? Inawawasha. Eric amevaa dress. Eric. What? Everything you do, you piss them off. Ukitoa nguo wanakasirika. Ukivaa dress wanakasirika. Itakuwaje?
Kenyans I've never learned Eric Omondi. Yeah? Eric Omondi is it's very easy to understand or to learn or to deal with him. That particular thing that you don't want him to do is what he's gonna do more. Because it's what gets your attention. Yeah. If I dress up this way, you don't talk.
Of course, you're just normal.
So if I am normal, but if I'm lying on my bed and I want to start a conversation, I want to get attention, I know what to do. I know what pisses you off and gets you talking. I call my makeup artist. I say, twende kazi. I want to start a conversation. So that particular thing that creates conversations, and then again, I noticed from my insights on Instagram and Facebook that my biggest, most of my followers are female. And sometimes when you do comedy, you do targeted comedy at particular times. Like today, I want to eat. It's Mother's Night. It's Mother's Day. So I'm gonna particularly talk to the girls. And what do they do? What are their mannerisms? What happens in Nairobi? Is it a slay queen situation? Is it a mad? So you still have to dress up. Like recently we had the mermaid thing. So and naipenda sana because it gets people talking. And angry and reactive, and some like it. The chicks, the girls, the women, the mothers, they love it. And so it's a character I play. I play so many characters. I play. There's a lady. She's called Divalicious. That's the character that brings trouble. And it's a character I've played for two years, and I use it to talk to my female fans and any other person cares to listen. So, but this has been done from time before I was born. Comedians
they've been changing the narrative.
I've been dressing up for whatever occasion and for whatever. So it's just what were you jokes?
So when you play this character, you're not being a comedian, you're entertaining us. I think that's where we get lost because people like to say, Eric Omondi is not funny. Eric Omondi is not funny.
To dress up to be funny.
But you're not trying to make you're not trying to make them laugh. No, you're entertaining them.
That's why I've metamorphosed into an entertainer. So there are some clips I do. If you look at them, you may or may not find comedy in them, but you'll find a conversation in them. But there's a lot of costuming, a lot of makeup, but it's intentional, consciously done. I know the effect I want to get from it. And I know what I need to do to get that conversation going. So you're right. Some of it is not even comedy. Because sometimes people expect everything I do to be funny. And that's why they lose it. Like sasa amefanya hii and you're getting, and they would say it's clout. I call it entertainment. What Kenyans call clout, what Kenyan musicians and entertainers call clout, I call it showbiz.
Because even right now, Tanzania is in the building. I'm seeing 1,000 Tanzanians listening. Why do Tanzanians love you? Because you're loved across Africa.
Because
not just here.
Showbiz.
They understand. They get it.
They get it. Kiki. They call it Kiki. They understand. I have such a very huge fan base in Tanzania because of my brand.
And your entertainment value.
Yes. And what I do is what they do. So they understand. And that's why they're way ahead of us in terms of showbiz and entertainment, and especially music. Because they understand that music is not just about it's not just in about the song and the studio. It's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
What
Even people like Diamond work with you to promote their music because they know the impact you have and the value you can add. But you see, us guys, we release a song, akuna promotion, hakuna ikue hit.
Yeah. But you've also done like music covers, haven't you?
Parodies.
So why did you decide to do music covers, and like why did you decide this is the direction that I want to go?
You know, I love music, and people have been asking me, why are you fighting for music? You're a comedian, stay on your lane. But one thing people don't know is that I love music. If I wasn't a comedian, I would be a musician. Yeah. So and music is very powerful. Is when you combine music and comedy.
Yeah.
Whoa, comedy is powerful. And music is powerful.
Yes.
So can you imagine combining the two?
Yeah.
It's extremely powerful. Yeah. That's why I started doing the parodies, because it brings laughter and also music together. And then I'm also kind of living my desires and dreams in that, because I'd love to be a musician, but I'm a comedian. Yeah. So nikifanya of parodies, I feel like I'm fulfilling a part of me. Yes.
So you are in Daystar.
Yes.
And you are an MC.
Yeah, I was.
You are an MC. Ulikuwa na MC my events.
Yes.
Is that how you figured out, okay, I can also do comedy as well? Because if I'm not wrong, Churchill happened to come to one of the events that you're MCing.
Yes, in Daystar.
Na akakusho, what you're doing is not MCing.
It's stand-up.
It's stand-up comedy.
Yes.
So how was that for you? And how was the change? Was it very hard for you to...
Yeah. So while at Daystar, every big event for like 4 years, it was unanimous. As in, it went without any say. Like if there's a big event, it's Eric Omondi.
Were you Omondi or Otieno?
I was Otieno.
Okay.
I was Otieno. It's Eric Otieno who will MC.
Yes.
Eric Omondi wasn't born then. Yeah. So they would say. I would ask him why. Wewe ukimc yani inakuanga ni exciting, watu wanacheka.
Yes.
Alafu unajua ku-MC. So me I didn't know what I was doing was called stand up.
Stand up, yeah.
So until this day they invite Churchill and Red Corner. You guys know Red Ridiculous?
Yes.
Siku za ridiculous, Red Corner.
Yeah.
So wanadanganya.
Najua.
So the guy comes and he was a big deal, So it was a big event. And then I was the MC.
Yeah.
And now because he was there as the chief guest, I did even more research, because now he's a comedian. So I wanted to... No, I didn't want to impress him. I wanted to show him who's boss.
It's me.
In this college,
in this Athi Riverside.
Yes. So I killed it. And then he called me and told me, oh, so you do stand-up?
Yeah.
Hiyo ni nini?
Au kukua unajua.
I told him, sometimes I do comedy, but I can remember that what you did today is called stand-up. Yes.
Yeah.
You're not just running the program, because I had like 15 segments of 15 minutes each, like 3 of them, where I would first come and run the program, and then now come in and make people laugh.
Yeah.
So he told me, what you did, that's called stand-up, and I'm starting a show called Churchill Live. So give me your number, I'll call you.
Yeah.
So he took my number, he didn't give me his number. That was 2006. And then he calls me in 2008.
2 years.
So he remembered. What?
We met twice at some random events at Westlands. And then he kept saying, I'll call you. And I kept saying, so you your number, like, you wait.
Sijakusahau.
Then we met again in 2007. And then the next time, he told me, come to Carnival. And I found them rehearsing. He told me, there's a new program, it's called Churchill Live.
Yeah.
I was excited. I thought I would be on the first episode. Told me, wait, I have to start, because it was a totally new thing.
Yeah.
Even him, it was new to him.
It was new, yeah.
He said, we'll come in on the 13th episode. That was the longest wait.
What?
Episode 1, episode 2.
See in your stage. In your mic.
Yeah. Let me
go. So on the 13th episode, that's I debuted my first ever episode.
Nice. So your first ever joke was a couple of days or weeks post-election violence.
Yes.
And there's a joke you made. Can you please tell us? Because I know it.
So times have changed. I don't know whether it's funny today.
It's not, but it was like your first ever joke.
It's not funny today.
It's not.
And it was a bit tribal. Then it worked, because it was 2008.
Yeah.
And It's a very sensitive joke. It was my first ever joke. So what happened is Churchill Live worked because the country had just come out of the post-election violence, like literally a few weeks, like 3 weeks or a month ago. And then Churchill Live came on air, and NTV was like, let's use this to bring people together. Yes, and that's why it blew up. That's how we became so big. And so in my young mind, I thought, let me do something that's current and relevant.
So
then it was very funny. It actually got a standing ovation.
I can still laugh though.
It was very sensitive. It may sound sensitive now, but it was funny then. So it's about this this Luo woman who's my auntie, who was caught up in some estate in Mombasa during the post-election violence. And so people were fighting and they were looking for jangos because they were mad. So then they were told that there's a jango who lives around there. And then they came, hey mama, then they found her. So what she did is she ran inside and put on a bui, you know, and so then they're like, "Where mama? Where mjalu?" Then she's like, "Me." That's my very first joke.
And then they told her to say something.
I think people laughed. Like, "Where mama? Where mjalu?" Then people laughed. Then they're like, "Where sema shilingi?" Then they started laughing because they saw where the joke was going. Then she was like, shilingi. Oh man, that's how I was born. That was my very first joke. And people laughed. Churchill was like, then the first day, Churchill asked me, just a few seconds before he called me on stage, he told me, what's your stage name? I didn't have any. So he's about to, he was like, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, this new guy is going to kill it. We're introducing a new face onto the show. Please support him. Put your hands together for... What's his name? Then he was like, 1 minute. Then he came on, and I said, Obongita. He was like, no. I was like, no. We're not going to call you Obongita. Then he was like, what's your name? Like, what's your name? I said, Eric Otieno. What's your other name? Eric Omondi. He said, that's your stage name.
What?
So I went back and said, Eric Omondi, and that was it. Wow. Otherwise, today I'd be called Obongita.
So I want to know a few things, Eric. When you were starting comedy, those first 30, before you could go on air for that 13th episode, were you taught how to write jokes, or how did you develop the understanding, or how did you start structuring your jokes? How did you learn how to write jokes? Because you were an MC, but you were doing something. You didn't even know you were doing stand-up at the time. So how did you develop the craft of, this is how I write jokes, this is how did you structure yourself into become a comedian the way you became?
So apparently it wasn't so. Apparently all my life I was training, and I didn't know because I joined drama as early as class 5.
Okay.
In Kisumu, Kondele Primary. I was already in drama. When I went to high school, in Form 2, I was the best actor. I don't think that was province. And we went to nationals in Mombasa. The first time I went to Mombasa, 1999. We started a comedy group called the True Liars when I was in Form 3.
Wow.
True Liars. And then we did another comedy group in Daystar called Big Time. So all along, even when I was young, even at dinner tables with my family, I would not stand people's quiet or bored. I would do anything. The command has not changed by today. I would do anything to make people laugh, and if I couldn't make them laugh, I would do anything to just annoy them.
Okay.
As in, I couldn't stand people bored. So I noticed after Churchill talked to me that I'd been doing stand up from as early as class 8. Those are things we used to do in school, in class. You know, we used to diss people who would stand in front of class, and then we used to call them chongo.
Chongo, I know.
But the way I would structure them, I would tell a story. I would start by saying, so you see Sonia came to me, then I structure it, and then people laugh. Yeah. So apparently I'd been doing stand-up for a long time. Yeah. What I knew I was doing was comedy. I didn't know it was structured stand-up. So I trained a lot, but mostly from Form 3 all the way to college. When I started emceeing, that's when I kind of perfected it.
How do you end up at Daystar? Why Daystar? And what did you go to study?
I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on radio. And so all my life, I used to, from way back. So when I finished Form 4, I asked, which is the best communication college, uni.
Yeah.
And my auntie was there. So I don't know whether she was biased or whether it was the best. She told me, Daystar, of course.
Me, I
was there. So I went there.
Kafanya electronic media.
We call it. You were in Daystar?
No, but nimechapa research.
That word is only used in Daystar. This other calling is, they say communications.
Communications, yeah.
As you say, electronic media. So I studied radio and the TV. We have they're quite equipped. We have a TV station.
Okay.
We had even back then, Shine FM. So I worked at the radio station, I worked at the TV station, and I wanted to be as I told you, I didn't know I was a stand-up comedian. I knew I was funny. So what I wanted to be a reporter. And then I got a job, luckily, at NTV. And so that was my dream. I was like, finally in NTV. I was doing a kids program. And then I tried reporting. It was disaster.
Why?
Because, so while I was at NTV, the then head of TV, Charlene Samat, alikuwa ananipenda sana. So I asked her if I could do a story one day, a feature on a weekend. She said, do one. So I went to Kampala with it's called what? Camcorder.
Yeah.
I went to, just chini ya maji. I went to Kampala. I wanted to do the story on Kabaka. I wanted to surprise her. So I went there with my friend, and then I did the story. But then now, the way I voiced the story, it was very funny. I was trying to sound like, there used to be a reporter called Robert Nagil.
Yes.
It gonna sound vibaya sana. I was like, this is Omondi. It sounds so bad, yeah? It went on air. Because when I came back, I told Charlene, I've done the story. She walked in, she saw the story before I voiced it. She was like, this looks good. Let's voice it. Me, I have to go home. Then she told she was called Gashiri. Let the story go on air. So by the time it was going on air, nobody had looked at
audio.
it. They told me, no, you can't. You can't be a reporter.
Yeah.
So 6 months down the line, when I met Churchill, and Churchill was coming to NTV, so you see how those connected.
It came together.
So the NTV boss was like, yeah, Churchill already talked to me 2 years ago, and now he's called me. And then now the boss is like, yeah, that's better. So I was supported by both the station and Churchill.
So I want to ask you one quick one. When you were growing up, for us when we were growing up, we knew Ridiculous, we knew Churchill Live, we knew, when you were growing up, was there comedians? Because I can't think far back. Before working at KJ and Tony Juguna and those guys, who was there? Because our generation, we know you guys.
Yes.
But I'm wondering in your world, when you were the kid in class 8, nani alikuwa anawachekesha?
Yeah, I'm old.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I am old. Yeah. Where were you in 2001?
I was born.
You were born in 2001?
No, I was born 90 something. But I was in class 1. In 2001, I was in class 1. I was in class 1 in 2001.
You're 6 years old.
Yeah.
So there was when I was growing up, there was Vitimbi, the kina Mzee Ojuang.
Yes.
You guys
kina Makoha, kina Ojuang.
You know Ojuang?
Yeah.
You know the name,
yeah.
Kina Mwala.
Mama Kayai, I know Mwala,
yes. Mwala. You don't know Likobe. There's a Thorongongo. There's Masanduku.
Papa Shirandula.
No.
Papa knew.
Bro, we are talking back. 95, 94.
Okay.
Yes. So there was Masanduku, Masaku. You don't know these people. There was Likobe. There was Mama Kai. There was the judge. The judge that now is on Vioja Makamanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was 94 when I was very young.
Yeah.
So those are the people I used to watch, and then we'd go to showground. And I would tell my mom, I want to go specifically to see the Ojuang. That's what I'm telling you. I started nurturing this.
Yeah, so they influenced you. Like you found that was inspirational and inspiring for you.
Like we'd be at the showground, and we are a big family. People would be running to the bouncing castles to see Sijui acrobats. Me, I would be at the arena waiting to see.
Wow.
Juang. So those are the people I watched growing up. And then of course by the time I got to Form 4, there was now Ridiculous. Now I watched them keenly. Now there was Red Corner. Now I was conscious about it. And then Churchill.
Okay. So you joined Daystar in 2003.
Yes.
And you graduated in 2010.
Yes.
Why did it take you so long?
She's done her research. So yes, it took me 7 years because first of all, how I joined Daystar. Remember when I told you I asked which college?
Yeah.
I was told Daystar. Now I had 2 sets of parents. Now they were my actual parents.
Okay.
So the person who was supporting Historia kwenda university was my mom. My dad was a cop.
Oh.
So unfortunately, my mom passed in 2002. I did my KCP in 2001.
Okay.
So in 2002, I started doing my research. Remember, initially my mom was like, "You'll go to," it's now called multimedia.
MMU.
Okay.
MMU. It used to be called KCCT.
Ah,
Then,
what?
so my mom had connection, and she was like, "Utaenda tu hapo." So then I started now asking. Now my other mother, now my foster mom, like, now I was to go to KCC. Then she was like, "No, that is for telecommunication. What you want is communication." So like, oh, I would have gone to the wrong one. Like, but it's okay. So then that's how I ended up in Daystar. Now to answer your question, remember my dad was not for the university thing.
Okay.
Because when my mom passed, she used to run like 2 hotels, one at the lakeside, one in town.
Okay.
And I was like the firstborn, because my big bro was something else. Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad was like, "No, you run the
business.
Run the business.
Yes.
Yeah, umefika form 4.
Tunakuachia. Yeah.
There's money here." I'm like, "No, I have to be on TV." So it's like, there's no money.
Okay.
So he played that card. Play the card. If you want to go to college, then you have to work. You're getting.
I'm ujilipia.
Yeah, I'm ujilipia. So I can talk. So like, So actually, I went to church. There used to be used to be in a church called it's NPC. Kisumu is called KPC. I said, "No, what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a fundraising." That is, this is 2 or 3. So I told the pastor, like, "Okay, use the church."
Yeah.
That fundraising, I think it ended up with me giving people. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah.
You were giving money at your own. Make it make sense.
Yeah, how?
I remember because it was done by like the youth group thingy, and so guys who came were trying to raise money. That money wasn't enough. It was like 6K, and then we paid with speakers and with transport.
Yeah.
We paid for some things, and then that money was over. And then the guys who were there were like, "Eriko,
Fair.
I ended up giving like 3 of my friends, like 10 bob, 30 bob.
Yeah.
So
Ukabaki zero.
I was negative again. So the following month, I went to Daystar. I went to Daystar. Kajipeleka too. Then I told them the story. They're like, okay. You can start, but you won't do exams.
Okay.
Or you can go and look for money and come
back
next semester. I was like, I like the first option.
Yeah.
They're like, we like your story. So you're gonna go to class.
Okay.
But just know you'll be wasting your time. If by the time
exams come,
Hujalipa,
raise your door, shauri yako. I'm like, that's a better option.
Yeah.
So I need, by the time exams ilikuwa nafika, had like 34K, I don't know from where, throughout the same, yeah? So they were like, this is good effort. So I did the exam.
Okay.
That was August 2003. January 2004, I tried the same thing. So wakasema wewe unatuzoea.
Ukashikwa.
So I was home the whole of 2004. And then 2005, the whole of 2004 and beginning of, and first semester 2005. Then something strange happened. I got elected in absentia.
How?
What?
I don't know.
For student, what do you get elected for?
For student leadership. So what happens in Daystar is they have during chapel, people nominate names.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're given papers and you write.
Yeah.
Names who would like. So the top 3 names, then go for elections.
Yeah.
So they called me and told me, you've been nominated for student leadership. I'm like, how?
Was it because of your emceeing or
Yes.
people knew you because of
Yes, I was a mini celebrity in Daystar. I was MC. I was so loud, yeah, and I was Eric Omondi.
You still are. You're still very loud.
So yeah, by the time I was living in 2005, I was very popular in Daystar in Athi River. So and that's how they nominated me. So the guys were like, "You'll be nominated."
Oh, unaweza kuwa nominated na una school fees. How do you?
And that's why they called me. They told me this has never happened. So we need to ask you before we ask the administration. Now that's like the election board or something. Like we need to ask you. Are you even before we start sumboying the VC? Are you even willing?
Yeah.
I told them I'm not sure because I'm not in school. And then somebody told me this could be your nini for scholarship. For school because there was scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So then they said, so you want it? I'm like, yeah. So then they went forward with the election. They said, you pray, Mazi. So I remember I went for just 1 week to campaign kidogo. Then I went back home. The election was like in a month's time. Then now that was the phone call. Like, you have been elected.
What?
So I went in August and then No, I started now officially in 2006.
Wow. And then you
I have a very serious
graduated.
question.
Yes.
In your life, whether it's the Churchill Show moment you explained, or whether it's the time where you're at home for periods, what has waiting taught you? Because as guys have waited for this interview, you've taught us patience. But like you, in your career, I'm sure there's many times you've had to wait. And there's many people listening right now who they're in a place of waiting. They don't know what's coming, but you just have to be waiting. It's a tough place to be.
Yes.
How did you handle those times? Because I'm sure in your life there's been several times like that.
That is the best place to be. That place where you're forced or you have to wait. Because there's a lot that goes on. Like when I was home for 1 year, there are things that are initially taken for granted that now I didn't have. And then I was just saying, like, and if I get back to Daystar, So by the time I was getting back, there was no turning back because I'd learned so much. Like today I meet people in town who are not willing to wait. Let me use that word, yeah? Like I meet people.
Wantaka sahi. They want 3 million followers tahi.
Like, Eric Omondi. Sasa, my name is JMO Mazi. I'm a comedian. I go to KU. So listen, Mazi, I'm very funny. I'm like, sawa. How can you help me? I'm like, take my number. Okay, give me your number. Can I get on Churchill? I'm like, yeah. Then it's like, call Churchill now. Piggy. And then they want you to call Churchill now. They want to be on Churchill tomorrow. They want to be on air on Saturday. They want to be on Pulse newspaper as in now.
Yeah.
So sometimes I tell them, I'll talk to Churchill. No, take me to Churchill now. I know he's at where. So but that waiting helps. It develops a lot in you, yeah, and it prepares you. That's the word I was looking for. It prepares. But by the time I was going back to Daystar, by the time I was meeting Churchill, I was very ready. Because I was kind of waiting for that opportunity, yeah. So it didn't get me by surprise.
Okay.
It didn't, yeah.
So now you are at Churchill Live.
Yes.
And they went on a break.
Yes.
And at this point, you were a bit desperate because things were not working for you.
Yes.
You are very famous,
And
but very broke.
Yes.
Then came a call
Yes.
from Mike Nderitu
Yes.
with a show.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes.
Why was it only 3 episodes?
Because I was not ready to take on a show of that magnitude on my own.
Okay.
Remember, I was only officially 4, 5, 6 months in the industry.
Okay.
Churchill had just picked me literally
Yeah.
from college, took me to a stage that was already set. Lights were on, the cameras were running.
Yeah.
I was just told, tell jokes. I didn't know anything to do with production, to do with the stage management.
Okay.
And so what that did, I became a sensation, or I became so famous literally overnight. Because then there were no other comedians. It was Churchill would come in, introduce the show, do a few jokes, introduce the guest of the day, and then introduce Eric Omondi, who then come and make people laugh, and then introduce the musician.
Okay.
So I had all the platforms. So I became so famous, so fast. Like literally overnight. Like I blinked and I was.
You know, TV is a
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
People are watching every Sunday,
And
so they know what you look like.
Yeah.
Where's the feature?
And then that
But
show, then it used to be on Thursday. The whole nation was at a standstill.
watching. Yeah. By
If
the
you get to
way.
7, people would pack whatever they are going to bars.
Yeah.
It was the whole nation was watching.
Yeah.
So I became so famous so fast. And then kidogo the show goes on a break.
Yeah.
So Sina do, but there's no corner of this nation.
They don't
That
know
doesn't
you.
know you.
Yeah.
So I go into a mat and people are like, that kuja to record. They don't believe I'm in a mat.
Yeah.
They're like, how?
I think it's a skit.
No
They think it's a skit.
way.
Yeah.
So it works for me, but then they think it's a skit,
Yeah.
so I can hide. Nini. So when Churchill went on a break, I called him, asked him, so what's the plan? He said, I'm not sure. We want to take a break, or maybe said maybe 1 or 2 years. I was like, what?
It's a long time.
It's a long time. But then I didn't have a manager. I didn't know how to name my brand. So I got a call from KTN,
Yeah.
which was kind of expected. Because now there was this new kid on the block, and then
Yeah.
like people are not concerned about Churchill.
Yeah.
They're like, Eric. Yeah, because I'm like tu hapa.
Yeah.
So they called me. They told me, we want to offer you a show. I asked them when. They said when are you ready? I tell them, let's start it this week. They laughed. They're like, no, it's not possible. Because I didn't have money.
When you say that though, I think about when you met Churchill, for 2 years he was probably planning a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming when he told you, he already was talking to NTV.
Yes.
But before things mature and actualize, it takes a long time.
A long time.
So you didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You didn't know the business of this showbiz. You think camera, action, yay!
Let's get it.
And then you get into the business and you're
Yes.
like, biashara.
Now they mentioned the money. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it today. But I didn't know this money comes at a cost, because the money they were giving me, I thought this is a lot of money. But now, kumbe, it was a lot of money because I was supposed to do what Churchill
Cater everything. Lights,
I didn't know.
sound.
As in-
Production.
Yes,
yeah,
makeup.
marketing.
Ona nini yako yote.
This is for my
Because
pocket.
Churchill show the money was entering your pocket alone. You don't have to share with anybody.
No,
Una
yeah,
manager,
yes.
anything.
So they told me, oh no, that's for production, everything. I was like, oh, okay. Makes sense. Then now I have to look for the name. How are you? I have to look for the
Production
team, the venue.
Yes.
I can't use Carnivore because it's Churchill. There's that brand. So we got Alliance, and then I have to get the audience.
Yes.
And then I have to. So I started organizing all these things. Because now remember, I did this money.
Yeah.
So I promised them we start next week. When they hit it when the eye is still hot.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I'm organizing all this cameraman, all this lighting crew, all this production, all the audience with just me and my manager. I got a manager then. Forgetting that next week Wednesday I'm supposed to be making people laugh.
Yeah.
So by the time I was going on stage,
You're tired, probably.
Right.
exhausted, fatigued. So the first one was Kidogo Poa, because people laughed Kidogo. The second one was it was disaster. Because I'm not a producer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do everything. The sound was pathetic. The jokes were scattered. And then remember, people used to me, Churchill comes in, and then mi nilikuwa kama kale ka ugali na kamboga kadogo.
Katiza.
Kakumalizia.
Ya kukuchota. Kadogo
I
tu.
would just come in, make people laugh, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we want more. But now here, I am talking to Kenyans for 1 hour. And then, I'm still young. I couldn't take it couldn't work. So it went on for 3 episodes. Even KTN were like, we'll take this one. And they even paid me. They paid me for 3 months.
Okay.
So at least they cushioned to pick it dog.
I want to ask you something. The parodies. How did you start with the parodies? Because there's something about the parodies I want to break into a bit. But like for you, how did the parodies come about?
When I was in Daystar, I remember I watched Ridiculous. I watched Churchill, and I watched Kajairo.
Yes.
And so I was interviewed.
Watoto wa siku hizi wajui Kajairo.
By the way, what a Kajairo.
Kajairo used to be the king of parody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in an interview like this, and with Churchill, they asked me, what do you want to be as a comedian? What's your brand? And I told them I want to be Churchill. I still remember that statement. I want to be Churchill, Ridiculous, and Kajairo put in one person. They said, what do you mean? Like, I want to do stand-up like Churchill, do slapstick, the videos I do, the funny videos, like Ridiculous, and the parodies like Kajairo.
And that's interesting because you do skits the way Ridiculous was not an in-studio thing. They would go and do skits, and then they'd and it was always very short, but
very short, yes.
Nakugonga.
Like the stuff I do.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to do that, which I still do. I wanted to do stand-up and then do parody.
Yeah.
So, and when Churchill came back officially, I told Churchill, now I'm going to be doing stand-up, and then I'll use these screens. They were never used before. I'll use these screens to play a funny clip and a parody. And that's how the Omondi blew up, because it was like a balance that for Kenyans. Like ametuchekesha, alafu ametufanyia ka skit, alafu pia tumesikia music. So for like 2 years, every week I had a parody, a skit, and then stand up.
So with the parodies, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe at the beginning, early on, you were using other people's voices because it was not you who was singing. Because I remember at the time I think Ngangalito sang up some.
Yes.
We used to wonder as kids who's the person singing, because we knew Erika is imba hivyo vizuri, lakini ni nani anaimba. We were always curious because the voice was like you can guess. Because like you are dame. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because for me, if I look back in hindsight, you were helping Kenyan artists back then.
Yes.
Because you are taking this platform that you have, taking their voice, giving them a chance, and putting them on a big stage like Churchill. So like, from then you are literally helping artists and working with artists. Tell us about that. That's why I brought that up.
When I started doing Tanzanian parodies, Juicy too, after I left Churchill, and I intentionally wanted to get into the Tanzanian market. But for the 3 years that I was in Churchill, all my parodies were Kenyan songs, mostly, and it pushed to some extent that Kenyan agenda, that Kenyan sound, because you remember, as you say, this was the biggest platform.
Yeah.
So every week I would do at least 1 or 2 Kenyan songs. But mostly I would do the hit of the day. Like today, maybe I would do, if I was on Churchill, I would do Mbwembwe.
Yeah.
What's the current song, yeah? So it helped, yes. And I wanted to be I wanted to take it a notch higher. And I can kind of sing, yeah? But then I was very young, so I would pay. I used to have a guy called Israel, very good singer, and a lady called Sheila. So they would do all the singing, yeah? Then me would just come and mime. So because I wanted to take it, to make it a kidogo, not perfect kidogo, it sound poor. Because Kajero used to be raw.
His voice was not. He was and you enjoyed it because he was not trying. Force.
Yes, he was funny, and then he was raw. We loved him for that. So I wanted people to go like, wait, okay, ni funny like in your voice, Pia.
Yeah.
And then I wanted, if I'm doing like if I was to do an Otile Brown song, I would look for someone who can sing like him. I remember I did the Daddy parody of Kiriro. And I got, was it Nameless? I called him and like, bro, I want to surprise Kenya and Daddy Owen. You have a kind of husky voice. And Nameless did it. How does it go? No, the Daddy Owen part. And they did it almost like Daddy Owen.
Okay.
And people were like, even Daddy Owen was like, wait, kwani umetumia voice yangu? So I would try to get someone who could sing as close as the person whose parody I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a production company.
Yes.
Please tell us about it.
Big Time Entertainment. It comes from the name of the second comedy group we had in Daystar, Big Time Entertainment.
Okay.
So it's called Big Time Entertainment. We have an office that is currently closed.
There was a saga about that.
Yeah. There's a saga. But we know it Aisha too. It is built. It is half built. Tuliambiwa tuache tu hivyo because we invested. It's in court. But us tunaendelea.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of my backbone when I fight for Kenyan music comes from my company.
Yes.
Yeah. Because then I can say I'm not just shouting, but kuna watu tuna support. Yeah. We try to support most of them. Watu wajuju, they're upcoming. There's like Miss P, those who are already there. We try to bring back. Yeah. But my company basically is a production company, and it handles production, both audio and video.
Okay.
So for me, who doesn't have a lot of money, can I come to you and I can be rest assured that you'll handle everything?
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
we will.
I really, really like that narrative. I like what you're trying to push.
Yes.
So before we get into the music fight that you've been fighting, I'd like to know from you, as someone who's been in comedy for a long time, who's a veteran, who's someone who people look up to, what's the state of comedy in Kenya right now?
Comedy. It is doing better than music.
Okay. Because I see there's a show, the Thai has a show. Yes. But like, I don't know, from your perspective, who you're seeing a lot, where's comedy at in Kenya? Is there content?
What I would say, we are at a better place because we are doing better than Tanzania, Uganda. And currently, to some extent, we are doing better than Nigeria.
Really?
Yes, I'll try and explain.
Okay.
So, but if you flip the coin,
because like in a basket come here, so do the Uganda. They all come here, and this is like we are
like a hub.
Yeah.
For the
because even Comedy Central pick Kenyan comedians and have them on some of their platforms.
Yes. But personally, I don't think where we are is where we're supposed to be, because most comedians. Name one Kenyan comedian who has done anything spectacular, something remarkable in the past 1 year? What like a big... Unajua venye Shinski alifanya nini juzi?
Shin City.
Yeah.
Akina Blessed Jugush and his
Yes.
wife are doing an amazing job.
Perfect.
I love
now that's good.
Yeah.
Now there's Churchill, there's that TNT. Me, I used to do something called Untamed.
Yes.
I did 10 of them.
Yes.
They're on YouTube. But I think we need to bring that back because most comedians have been reduced to influencers. There's been a culture of product influencing. So most comedians wameacha hiyo culture ya stand up, just going to KCC and booking it, filling it up and making people laugh.
Yeah.
We used to
because of that TikTok. People are making TikTok.
Literally.
I think social media is like fast food.
Yeah.
So people are saying, kwa nini nijisumbue kulipa all this while I can take my phone?
Yeah.
I think maybe that also as they need it. But I'm so confused as to where we are. Because when I compare us to our neighbor countries, we are good. But when I come back in and look at what we are doing, I feel we can do better.
Okay.
I feel we can do better.
So I'd like to understand, how did you get involved with the Copyright Amendment Bill of 2021? Because that's how you came to be seen at the forefront of the fight for playing to 75% Kenyan music.
Yes.
So that was part of an amendment that was introduced by Gladys Wanga, I believe.
Yes.
And it was something that we need, but why wasn't it happening? And why imagine wasani wote when you're the one, why are you the one talking for make sense, Eric? I'm confused.
Because I did my kidogo research and people told me, we fought for this, there's this committee.
Because I know Sakaja had done a bill before, but I don't know whatever happened to that bill of Sakaja's.
I think nobody was taking it personally and pushing it, intentionally. There were just committees that met you once in everything.
Hearings, Mara first hearing, second hearing, Nini.
Yes. And then there were these groups of musicians who would meet once in a while. But nobody was championing, was pushing like I was doing.
Yes.
So I discovered, after I did my small research, I discovered that this needs a little bit of radical kidogo. Yeah. To take a notch higher, to shout. Ni kama revolution.
People in America were calling me saying, there's a comedian, he's chaining himself to parliament to play Kenyan music. You should have him. Yeah. You got people to talk about it. You got people to talk about it.
That is what was lacking.
Yeah.
Because now, if it wasn't a conversation and a serious one, nobody was going to take it serious. So I said, we're going to, the first one before we went, chained ourselves, we said, I'm going to get all the upcoming musicians, because the big musicians walikuwa nasema ukwenda huko wewe sio musician. So I got like 1,000 of them.
Okay.
And we just sit tunaenda pale parliament tukae tu chini for the whole day. But apparently the government kumbe had other plans.
Okay.
So they decided that tutafika. So at that particular point we were very pissed. Tunataka tu, we are peaceful nini.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that this then would create the conversation. Now there was tear gas, some of us got arrested. Then 2 days later, now when I started getting phone calls from the now governor, from Babu Owino, Jaguar, even the deputy speaker, they're like, Nini, what are this? What's happening? Then they're like, no, come we talk. Then when I realized, so that thing worked.
Yeah.
So then we went there.
So clout and those things work.
They worked, yeah.
Good
like,
PR, bad PR.
Even for me to be released, the OCPD was like, he didn't know what was going on. Like me, I'm not releasing this guy. He had to call parliament, and then I was called by the head of vote in parliament. Then they had to ask me why I came to parliament, and I was like, then I explained, I was like, come. Now from the police station, now I went into parliament, and now you see now it worked, because now we are being a bit kidogo radical.
Yeah.
And even after that, after they promised us, they went quiet. Then now we had to go back to parliament.
True.
Yeah. So I think we intentionally went that direction, because I knew for years this bill has just been here.
Yeah.
Inachukua tu vumbi tu. But you see, finally, hiyo ilipasiwa.
Yes.
But now we still want to pass the one for playke.
Okay.
75%.
So with regard to the agenda you are pushing, ulitukanwa na watu wengi
sana.
Akina Biano walisema sijui Eric ni mjinga, Calligraph walisema sijui nini.
Yeah.
But then, okay, Okay, well, how can you be attacked for doing a good
I
thing?
don't
Good thing,
understand.
yeah.
I'm confused because your approach is not normal.
Yes.
We can agree your approach is radical.
Yes.
But your intentions, I feel like your
Yeah.
intentions were in the right place.
Yeah.
I hope. But
Yes.
like, how comes people were receiving you like that?
I think they didn't have a problem with the message. The problem was the messenger.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was them. Yes.
Whatever I'm saying, they're sour. Whatever I'm pushing, that's what we want. But the person, why you? You're not a musician. So the problem is the messenger. And then I think I got pissed initially because, and that's why.
Yes.
I was fighting for
by the
them.
words.
When I started this, I was like, you know what? I'm a friend of Diamond. I'm a friend of these guys from Tanzania. I've seen how they're doing it. They play 80% there. They play almost 90% in Ghana. It's 80% in 75% in Nigeria, 80% in South Africa. I'm like, this is a course I can run with, yeah? And then now when they started kunitukana, then I realized, nyinyi watu. That's when I started telling them, you are the cause of this.
Uliambia artist vibaya, mara nyinyi ma performances, mara nini, ukaingililia watu. But I still think what you were doing was important because we had to have
conversation.
You led a conversation in terms of concerts. You led a conversation in terms of playke. The conversation was being had because of your antics.
What they didn't notice is that I noticed earlier before they did, is that the more they were attacking me, the more they were creating the conversation. You see? Because someone like Bien, he's an industry leader. Calligraphy, the industry
If Bien
leader.
talks, you are listening.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
If Bien talks, akinitukana, akisema nini, the conversation is on. It's on. It's on. Yes. It's on. Because, and kuna time karibu hata to fight up. I think it was 31st. It was bad, bro. It was bad because I talked to NRG and we say that the Kenyan, so long as it's a big artist, if it's Otile, Calligraph, Sauti Sol, Nyashinsky, they cannot cut and raise. Because that was becoming a culture. So I said, Sauti Sol are going to be the last to perform. And they were like, that's petty. Everyone was like, I'm like, they are going to be the last ones to perform. This is how we start this culture. I know why we're doing this. It is important that we are seen, not just as curtain raisers. I mean, Sauti Sol's catalog, they have
from
so many.
Wanzo to Live and Die in Africa to Midnight Train.
Yeah.
So on that day, we get there, and finally, we've convinced Conscience. It's like, Sawa. It was like, bro, man, I get your point. You're fighting for your own, and I appreciate it. I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this just to push your cause. I'm gonna
Conscience is down, but the Kenyan artists are fighting you.
So they agreed around 5. And then we get to the venue, and Conscience is not there. Then I see Sauti Sol with guitars. And they tell the VN is like, bro, this is my band. This is my brand. You will not tell me what. Oh, like, There was bitter apple backstage. So I tried talking to BN, they refused. And that day it was bad, yeah? It was bad.
So that fight was not for fun for Instagram?
No.
I thought it was jokes.
No.
I thought you guys were just joking the way you like to joke.
I thought so.
Remember when you were dissing Calligraph about a Range Rover? I thought it was Omondi videos.
I was having fun and I thought so.
Yeah.
Until I saw it's all going up on stage. And you ask when one was there, this concert was stopped for almost 45 minutes.
What?
Because now there were mamas and nini. But that night we won. Because now the event organizer talked to Sauti Sol. They told them, if Conscience has agreed and he's already here, let him just perform. Yeah. But I was trying to push an agenda. Yeah, because you see, hizo vitu ndogo ndogo, they go a long way. Yeah. They go along. I just wanted people to know that we can be, what's the word that is used? The headliners. Yeah. Because usually, unaonaga hiyo poster wameka the foreigner hapa, which I don't have a problem with this. Foreigner is big, but ukianza kuweka Otile kadogo hapo, Kanadia kadogo nini, alafu umeka, who is this other artist that we were fighting with? Conscience is a big one. There was this other one. My friend Omale. Yeah, with all due respect, I think Sauti Sol are older, are bigger. They have a bigger catalog.
Yeah.
They've been here for longer. They have more albums. And now that was another fight. And I had to explain that one. I said, you see, you cannot put all Omale's picture kubwa, alafu yake na bia ndogo. What are you trying to send? Literally, these guys have more.
They're bigger. Even in Africa, they're bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, at least waweke watoshani.
This guy has a hit. A hit can come and go. But look at Sauti Sol's catalog and what they've done for 10 years plus.
Yeah, this song, this one for
under whatever. Yeah,
with one. Yeah, I was like, Sauti Sol, anyone can get stage, they can perform for 2 hours non-stop. Every song mutakuwa mna jump. At least wacha watoshane bas.
Yeah.
Then they changed the poster, and then again, Sauti Sol were the last ones to perform. So you see, that narrative is very important. It's about perception. Your branding, about that perception. These is the big artists, these are the small artists. Yeah. And sasa inaanza kunini manifest kwa backstage, unaona backstage ya Umale, kama backstage ya Denkule ilikuwa kubwa. Big like this compound, yeah? And it has all the drinks, it has coffee, tea, it has like 13 ushers, 20 security, and then there's a small white tent there. Yeah. Why you put at there's calligraphy, there's Otile, what's up, guys? There's you, and then there's just water. Yeah, but this starts from the poster.
True.
Yeah.
From that perception.
Because then if they're carrying you small on the poster, they're gonna carry you small at the event.
Yeah.
So if you accept that your picture is the smaller one, then your tent will be smaller.
Yeah.
It's just psychological. Yeah, and you won't even complain because psychologically you will accept your headliner. So hata venye na receiver akifika kwa event yani akingia kwa event is like uhuru. And then you just see our boys just walking in like niaje mimi napanda next. No, so I said then that's when I now started saying we need to pay them better, even if not more, we need to pay them better, but there are certain things that have to be standard. Come on the backstage, but make one big one.
Yeah. They can let them all be together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's something that you've kind of put on, and I think it's really important. Oh, there's something that actually pisses me off. Sorry. People like to say that there's not enough good Kenyan music. At Radio 254, we play 100% Kenyan music 24/7.
There's too much.
People like to say, I've had big artists say, so you play the bad music at this time and then play ours. Or I've had excuses of, there's not... Big artists will tell you, hizi ngoma zingine sio poa, or there's not enough good Kenyan music to play. But 24/7 we're playing 100% Kenyan music. Millions of people are tuning into Radio 254 to listen to Kenyan music, and they love it worldwide. So explain to me why you guys are saying the music is bad.
There's not enough.
Do you have an issue with the quality of the music or the standard?
No. There's not enough time to play all the Kenyan music.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's perception. I was fighting with a particular certain radio station during that time, and this was the fight we were having. They called me and they told me there's not enough quality. Or good.
And that's what we keep hearing.
Yeah.
And I told them it's because, you see, whoever is tuned into 254 tonight or last night or any other day, what you hear, it's perception. It's nikama,
we play benga music, we play doluo music, we play kamba music, we play hip hop music. There's so much music.
There's so many genres.
Hypnosis,
yes.
Yeah.
If we hear just Afrobeat,
You
just
think
bongo.
Yeah.
That's what you.
Omale has a hit because the Kiss 100 and Homeboys play it every day. It's gonna become a hit.
Rotation.
If you play a Kenyan song every day, it's gonna become a hit.
If you put it on rotation, the whole day,
yes,
it's hypnosis.
Yeah.
Unani brainwash too. So I just know.
Ukicheza wakadinali the whole day, wasi watapenda wakadinali. Ukicheza Omale the whole day, watapenda. And that's why Nigerians are even willing to pay Kenyan radio stations to play their music because they will hypnotize you.
It's hypnosis. It's hypnosis. And that's what I told that radio station. You are hypnotizing.
Because back in the day, we used to listen to Craig David and all the songs Kiss 100 played became hits because that's what we had all day.
I'm walking away.
Yeah.
That's what
the
you
whole
had.
day. That's what you had.
So today, if you started playing, if Nadia had Chapter song Leo, we play today, next week but one, and that's what all we hear.
Bas.
Nadia will be so huge.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, that's the way to go.
She'll be paid more because it's a perception.
Yeah.
Because she's big. Her song is big. She's big.
Yes.
We're playing it,
But as get the one to play the music.
You're only as big as when you're nachezwa.
Yeah.
As much as you're being played. And there's so much Kenyan music to be good music.
Do you have any Kenyan music that you like? Who are you a fan of? Who do you enjoy?
I'm a fan of Nadia. I'm a fan of Sauti Sol.
Okay.
Not Bien. Nadia. I'm a fan of Otile. I'm not a big fan of hip hop, but I kinda I enjoy Calligraph's flow because of his it's kind of music, yeah, and anaongeza akona flow na mnaitanga rhythm, yeah. But mostly I like mimi napenda Sauti Sol because I'm also a benga, rumba. But now they're contemporary kind of, benga. Yeah?
Okay.
My number one is of course Sauti Sol. I love Nadia's song, music, Otile Brown.
What about any new or upcoming? Like, is there someone who will be shocked, like shock us?
I was heartbroken when Gengeton, whatever happened.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of Gengeton. There's a new guy, and I was at his launch, but he's a gospel artist. Like,
okay.
He's going to be a big artist, and it was Safara. Enda kutumia ngoma zake.
Tuzicheza.
Enda kutumia. Noma sana.
Safara.
Yes, so what I would request Kenyans is to remember that apart from Omondi fighting for Kenyan music, and as I've said, I'm not fighting African. I'm not fighting other Africans. I'm fighting for Kenyan music. Yeah. So people started thinking at you, I don't want the Nigerians to come. No, I'm not fighting them. I'm fighting for Kenyan music. And I want people to realize, radio stations and TV stations and bloggers, to realize and never forget that there's a law in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, and in Tanzania that pushes media to play 75 and above. Yeah. They are doing it. Yeah.
As guys, we decided we can't wait for the government. we can't wait for so we decided to play 100% Kenyan music, whether the law says differently or not, because we know how good it is, and we know that these guys, they just need a platform. They just need to be heard. And now the world is listening to them. Guys are getting shows in Australia. Guys are able to get them millions of people. So if we wait for the government, we'll never get there.
We start now. That's what I've been telling you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, because literally hakuna station ingine inafanya hivyo. There is a station that called me juzi, like, Eric, umesikia? Now the whole Friday afternoon. It's your Friday afternoon. We'll be playing Kenyan. And then they expect me to go like, no. You can't be playing 99% Monday to Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Friday at the afternoon. Ati mpaka tumeita Kenya sijui Kenya night. I'm like, for how long? 3 hours. So you guys, congratulations, Sana. That's why me, if you need any support, I'll post it.
We need all the support we can get, to be honest.
This is happening if you travel. Anani said it. What's his name? This Nigerian artist. If you travel to Lagos, or just to Uganda, or to Dar es Salaam, and randomly watch TV, utasikia tu bongo, ama utasikia amapiano. Nigeria is even worse. Utasikia Afrobeat, morning to evening. So let's do that. Let's not. And you guys are very powerful by the way. And don't forget, you guys have the power of hypnosis, and you can brainwash. It's what people hear. That's what people buy.
Sure.
So we need to start playing our own. And we're not being selfish because they are playing their own.
Yes.
When I get, if you go to their country, they're actually playing their own. The laws that have been passed. Why can't we do the same? And I like what you said. And when I was at Parliament, that's what I said. Let's not wait until it's been passed. You are not waiting for the government.
Nope.
You start playing. Asante ni sana.
I want to ask you 2 questions from Twitter, and I want Sonia to ask you. What wanauliza kama ulipata bibi? Ulipata bibi?
That was actually one of my questions.
The woman is asking, uliza Eric kama alipata bibi.
From my material?
Yes. Karo alienda wapi?
Actually, so, okay, just wait. You're all about driving conversation.
Yes.
So why wife material?
Wife material because now we live in an era of reality shows. And it started as a joke. One of the guys was like, at the launch of Big Time, the owner or the boss of Bonfire.
Okay.
It was like
Yes.
the chief guest. It was like, hey, you guy, man, you're a successful comedian. You've traveled the world. You're now launching this big production company.
Yeah.
You need to get married, man.
Yeah.
Then he joked on the mic. He was like, if you don't get married, me, I know what I'll do. I'm going to post on my Facebook and ask for anyone who has qualities to be your wife. He has a very big Facebook by the way.
Okay.
Simon Kabu.
When he posted, and a few chicks sent a few videos.
The resumes. Walituma CV.
I was like, wait a minute, this is a good idea.
Kuna
And
kitu
then we
hapa.
did the first season.
Let me hold you guys. You know umse alinita.
Ungekuwa bibi. Eri,
Sonia, you just had to believe me.
I had to.
So my team really wanted and still insist that Sonia has to be part of material.
My team. You see this one, my team.
Season 4. No, I showed them. And they're like, oh, okay. And so I was like, yes, sina namba yake. So I wrote a whole...
Yeah, he did.
I say, hi, my name is Eric. I'm a comedian from Kenya. I do this reality show. We'd really love for you.
Sonia kasema nini? Alikuwa cha red.
Nilimwacha.
We, mpaka leo. We, the longest read in history.
A whole Eric Omondi was left on red.
I said hi, she said hi. I introduced myself, she said sawa. And then I wrote the paragraph and then she just...
So I would like to know what conversation you are trying to drive, if any, and how it was received.
Entertainment and showbiz. Our wife material is all about entertainment and showbiz. And sometimes you can be very hypocritical. Recently they launched this... young
Africa,
yes.
Young rich, something.
Young famous
black,
and African.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same. The same, we call it what in production. It's the same format as WF material, but it has a lot of entertainment value. So Kenya lacks that. We lack a reality show that also brings conversations and a lot of entertainment. You can tell me nothing. Wife material is one of the most entertaining things you will watch in this country. It's controversial, yes, it has to be controversial. But we go into our houses and tune in.
You know, Kenyans are hypocritical because we'll watch, but then on Twitter we'll be like, Kini mbaya, Erika kona ufala. But we watch, we like that kind of content. Because Tujuane worked, Wife material worked, so those kind of content work, but as Kenyans, we like to define we're better. So we don't want people to know that we like that kind of content.
Yeah. Season 4 is up, coming, and this time I have to. We've done 3. I think I have to.
Are you gonna get married for real?
Yes.
Okay.
It will only make sense because it's the last season. For real. Yeah.
You know, I was watching the show and I personally felt that if these women were competing for something else, I don't know, it would have been a bit different than you have like women from across Africa and then have it be like Big Brother. You know, something like that.
Not a man competing for something else.
For something else, yeah. Like a I don't know.
A car.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
But that has been done before.
Has it? I don't know.
Project Fame, they had their car.
Okay.
And you see, mine was making sense. I'm not young. I'm looking for a wife.
But Eric, labda unafanya hii show na kuna mtu. Sababu uko na mtu. This guy might be doing the show and going home to Jackie. And then we're here believing him.
Ask Sonia, do you think you can have someone? Would you allow your boyfriend or your husband or to do such
I mean, if I knew you were like entertaining and it's just acting, me, I'd go along. Imagine.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So season 4,
You're tutaongea kando.
If the money is good, we'll see.
Not the husband. Not the husband. It's a good husband is offering.
She's right. If the husband is offering good money, the husband is good.
Yeah.
The other Twitter question I wanted to ask you is someone's asking, kwani unonangi?
No, but let me give you props. Thanks. By the way, from before and now,
yeah, I'm trying. I'm in the gym.
He's supposed to have eaten by now. By the way,
he has an eating schedule.
Yeah, man eats 9 meals in a day.
I saw you asking my question before he leaves.
You're good company. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. How would you describe your comedy?
My comedy is it used to be family. I don't know if I can describe it family. Today, we'll get back there. But I plan to go back to my original stand-up family comedy.
Okay.
Could we get like an Untamed again or something?
Yes, it's coming. It's coming next year because of a lot has happened. There's Corona.
Yeah.
So there's so much content, and comedians want a pig was squeezy. So there's so much content. But I would initially describe my comedy as family.
Okay.
Shida sasa ni venye sasa nimekuwa entertainer, nimeleta material, nimechoma kidogo.
Nimechoma mingi na wasanii.
But my original comedy is family.
Okay.
It's family, yes.
Is there a stage you've always wanted to perform at?
Ooh. Yes, and I did.
Ooh, which one?
My idol, the person I look up to. Churchill is my mentor. He's the guy who made it possible for me to sit here today.
Yeah.
But the guy I look up to is called Jimmy Fallon.
Ooh, definitely.
And my dream was to perform at the Jimmy Fallon, and I did.
Wow.
Yes.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
How did they receive you?
Amazing. It's on YouTube. You should check it out.
Yeah.
I did like 3 minutes. Yes. During the break, but it was worth it.
Nice.
Yes.
Dope.
Yes.
Eric, politics.
Yes.
You don't believe Wanjigi can win, can you?
No, he's gonna be the 5th.
Bro,
you wait and see.
Atu legalize bado. Acha hizo. As in, are you serious?
The surprise on the 9th. You wait for the 9th of August.
Si vote huyu Professor Wajakoyo ama huyu mwingine. Sasa, are you sure? Okay, so do you support him because amekupatia gari, or do you support him because you believe in what he's about? Gari ni poa. Crossfire sio mbaya.
Alinipea gari, amenipea job, but he's a very dangerous man. If you sit with him like this and aanze kukujiuza as a product, he got me by the way. Because now he speaks my language. The first thing he told me, the reason I'm getting you is because you're young, and you connect with the young people, and we live in a digital nini. I understand the times we're living in, and he understands that. And his message has been simple, that we have, is it 65% voters and the young people in Kenya?
Yes.
At 65%. So he's focusing on that. And anybody who focuses on young people, on art, and do it with youths, digital era. So that's why it got me. Okay. Because it is all about fagia.
Forget what, yes.
Old, out with the old and
in with the new.
So, you don't feel like he might be using you because you're a big deal.
That's why
he like he needs
he's the voice of the youth.
He's using me vizuri because he's speaking my language.
Of course.
If he came and told me now, achana vijana. Yes. Then I would I would maybe just take the money and do the job.
Yes.
But if you notice, I do it with a lot of passion because it connects directly with everything I'm doing on the side. Yeah, vijana, youth, entertainment. So because he's keen on young people, and me, I'm keen on entertainment. Yeah. Almost 99% of entertainers are young people, and we are the majority. So now I've got a lot of interest in this generation, yeah. And
you, as someone who's a creative, and we're seeing a lot of creatives running for office in 2022,
no, that's a no.
Never.
That's a no, and I will tell my fellow.
Hata baba kikuja seme kijana ingia, nothing.
And I even told the guys, Juicy, don't. If you're a musician, comedian, actor, don't go into politics.
Why would you? Okay, because a lot of people are doing that. Why would you advise them not? Because no one is saying don't. Everybody's saying ingia.
I'm saying don't, and I will say it every time I get a chance. Do not as an entertainer attempt or go into politics.
So then wataomoka, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because now you see the state of our industry, as we have talked about, iko chini.
Yeah.
Sasa wewe umeona hapa tuko chini, baada tusaidia kujenga, unakimbia ushaona nani
by the way you guys are running away from struggle.
Yeah.
Ni shortcut. Ukiingia parliament ni bucks mazeni do. Alafu ushaona Uhuru akifanya comedy. Because he's a politician, yeah. So that's our gift. Kuchekesha watu, kuimba. So mazee huyu ameenda politics kidogo, Sauti Sol ameenda kidogo, calligraph, tabaki na nani? Unaona? And already tuko vibaya. So this is not the time kuenda politics. This is the time yani kupeleka industry. So I would not recommend it, and I would not. We need one person in there. Maybe just one person to push our agenda. Yeah? So far, there's only one that has gone has kind of gone through. The rest wote wameblokiwa.
Yeah.
Oh, Jalango.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So and I told him sawa. It was like sasa utaki kuni campaign. I'm like I would, because to some extent we, to be safe, all these things we do about 75%. We need someone in there.
Yeah.
So
who has an interest or who understands, who's a stakeholder.
Who I can call and say, Jalas, ni aje mazi. Umetufanya hapa, fanya hivi. Like, okay, sawa. Or I can say, nataka kuingia parliament. Kuja ni kuingize. So we need one person. But now there's this wave of
watu wengi,
sasa mimi naanza kuona nyinyi hapana, nataka do. Nataka the easy way. But this industry has a lot of money, even more than those politicians, if we just build it. Unaona David ameomba pesa ngapi juzi? 28
million, bro.
Rightfully.
Na atalipwa.
Of course.
Because when you state your price, they'll pay you your price.
He's being paid that out there. So because they've created that platform and that brand and that image and that perception, and now 28 million. Wanaweza compare hiyo na salary ya nini? Ya MP. Hiyo ni one show.
Of course.
Yeah, so we just need to stick here, push it, build it, create it, and then now we get the money. So kitu out, now kienda hivyo, by the way, I told them, those who are going, there's no coming back. Because they'll go and they'll fail. Yeah. Most of them will fail. And then we'll just start seeing them running back to the studio. Me, I'll call them out. Mheshimiwa patafadhali. Guys, I have to go eat.
Okay, one question. What would you like to be remembered for?
Hey, deep.
Yeah, just one.
Like a legacy of sorts, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to be remembered as a Kenyan artist who made a mark. Bado sijui ni nini. Who made a mark in entertainment. That's why you see I'm very passionate about this Kenyan music. Because it's not just a gimmick. It's something that also inside me natafutanga. Nataka change life ya mtu ama watu ama industry. So I'd love to be remembered as a Kenyan entertainer. I'm saying Kenyan because I don't want to be remembered for something I did just for Kenya, but for the universal industry. It's something that I think ni Mungu tu atanipea, sijui ni nini. But I feel like I'm just beginning, so I have to find that one thing and I have to accomplish it, and it has to be something that will change drastically the lives of entertainers. It could be respect, could be what they are paid, because to some extent, apart from the Hollywoods of this world, entertainment like in Africa, apart from the few Davidos, it's still seen as hauko serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Even my own family, they still look at me like, even people that I pay school fees for their children, they're like,
Uni joker.
Hey, and I'm paying school for your daughter and your son and your auntie, and they're like, uko na ile degree yako bado? Like, I have it. So when I'm planning with it, I'm like, I'm okay. Oh yeah, so that's the legacy I want to leave behind. But I feel like bado, just beginning, so it's too early to pinpoint. But generally, I'd love to be remembered for leaving a mark in the entertainment industry.
Eric, mine is not a question, but to thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, bro. For
being interested in supporting the youth who are creatives, for seeing the struggles that they're going through and understanding that and wanting to change that narrative, for creating the conversation. If we're not at the end of the year, we were all talking about concerts and headliners and playke because of you. And as a radio station that plays 100% Kenyan music, it touched our hearts. And that's why we're like, we want to speak to this person who has the same vision, the same mission as we do, because we are like, our missions and our visions align. So mine is to say thank you, even for your time. We've waited since bruh, I used to call this guy every day. All I needed was but thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we'll do more.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for elections to be over. It's not over. I'll be back here several.
Please. You are welcome.
Yes. Yeah. We've just started. The second one has not been passed. So now most MPs are not in parliament, they're campaigning. So we've agreed tumekubali yenyewe saizi hatuwezi. So from September we are back.
Awesome.
Nice.
You know, people think Eric is just a joker, comedian, but you can see this is someone who's very thought out, someone who understands what that. he's not an empty Debbie making noise.
No.
This is someone who's very like thought about this, aligned himself with the right. So we can't wait to see what happens.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Eric.
so much for coming.
Asante. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a short music break. We will be back. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back.